a stapler with staples in it?
25th of February, Rabbi Moore, Parsha Hashavua with Rashi.
Want to start off here?
Certainly. Vaydeber Hashem el Moshe lemor. KiSisa es Rosh B'nei Yisrael lifkudehem v'nasnu ish kofer nafsho lashem bifkod osam velo yeh vahem negef bifkod osam. Hashem spoke to Moshe, saying, when you take the census of the children of Israel,
Right.
according to
Yes.
their
By
count.
the way, you translate when you take a census.
What?
That is, you translated KiSisa es Rosh means when you take a census.
Right?
That is correct as a general translation, but it's not accurate. It means it lacks a little bit of accuracy.
Oh.
The Targum, by the way, wherever you have the term sisa, which literally means to when you carry, yeah?
Yes,
The Targum translates this as aresa kabel. And that's what Rashi is going to point out over here. When you want to receive, which in our normal terminology would be to calculate, you want to receive the rosh, the total amount of the Bnei Yisrael. So this is what you should do. In other words, if you want to receive the total amount of the Bnei Yisrael, according to the counted ones, then each man shall give a kaifa nafshe. Carry on. I don't know if you finished the translation.
I didn't.
Carry on.
According to their counts, each man will give an atonement for his soul to Hashem,
When
to atone for them,
when they are being counted.
bifkod is to count.
Bifkod is to count. Good. Yeah, right.
When they are being counted, and there should not be in them a plague in counting them.
Right. When counting them.
Okay, that's the translation.
Let's see the Rashi.
Okay, there's no Rashi on 11. On 12, we have KiSisa, Lashon Kabbalah B'Sar Gumo. It's an expression of receiving,
Right.
according to the Targum. My English.
That's the Targum translated. Correct.
My English says it means taking. I don't know where the article gets that from.
I wouldn't say. And if you say, as far as the terminology taking a census.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what it is. Kishitach pots likabel sechum min yanam. When you will wish to take the total of the number. L'das kama haim, to know how many they are. Al team name, lagul go less. Do not count them by heads. Ella yitenu kol echad machatzis hashekel. Rather, let each give you a half shekel. V'tim ne es hashkalim, and count the shkalim. V'teda mean yanam, and you will know.
Thereby, you will know how many they are altogether.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Below yiyeh bahem negef. There will not be a plague. Sheha min yan so late bo ayin hara. That the counting can have the effect in it of an evil eye. V'ha dever ba alehem, and pestilence had come upon them. Kamo shematzinu bimei David, like that we found in the days of David.
Right. Okay. Now, in other words, why should counting cause a plague?
I would say because it turns a human being into an object.
Well, there's something to that, number one. Number two, it highlights every individual.
Ah,
Understand? If they're not being counted, they're all just a part of one group.
right.
When you start counting them, you say, well, there's this individual, that individual. Each individual is highlighted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay, very good. By the way, that's what happened. It's interesting. The Maisa that happened in the time of David, Kosh Baruch Hu told him that because he married Bathsheba, and even though Lamaisa, Chazal say it was not a forbidden marriage, because she technically, retroactively was divorced already at the time. So therefore, there was no, David HaMelech did not sin by marrying her, by having relations with her. But nevertheless, since he did it in a surreptitious way, right, to cover it over, okay, then therefore he was punished for it. Okay? So according to Baruch Hu gave him a choice what kind of punishment he wanted, sorry?
Doesn't the Gemara say that David did not sin?
Right. The Gemara says, Kol ha'omer David chota, ein ela toya.
Anyone who says David sins is incorrect.
Right. But the point is, but nevertheless, he was still deserving of punishment for the way he acted in the whole situation. Anyway, the KiSisa, he gave him a choice. Can't remember what the three choices were. He had a choice of three forms of punishment. And David HaMelech said, I'd like to be punished with a plague. And why? Because this is the initial verse which we said at the beginning of Tachanun. Niplano v'yad Hashem v'yad Odom alipola. Let's fall into the hands of Hashem and not fall into the hands of a human being. Which means that he wanted the punishment to come directly through Hashem, not via a human being. So therefore, the other possible thing was
I think we lost you, Rabbi. We're not hearing you now.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes.
Now I can
yes.
hear you, but you
Yeah.
your voice cut off in the middle of the sentence.
I'm sorry. Okay.
You said he didn't want to be punished by man, and then I didn't hear what you said after that.
Oh, because that's the thing. Because a man, whatever, he wanted the punishment to come directly from Hashem, and therefore that's why he chose a plague.
Oh.
Anyway, the way the plague happened was that David HaMelech made what seems the Gemara actually says a mistake, which even Cheder Yingel, right? Anybody knows any small child that knows the halacha, then you're not allowed to count the people directly. You've got to count them through each person giving half a sheker. And he went ahead, David HaMelech went and counted the people without them giving money.
Oh.
As a result of that, a plague happened. That's what Rashi says over here. That's the comparison.
Mm.
So
Okay.
what is given all that you just said? What is this reference to the evil eye have to do anything? You just explained why it happened without this evil eye stuff. What's the evil eye stuff doing in here?
So we say, in a, how shall I express it? The derech hateva, even though obviously HaKadosh Baruch Hu arranged it that should be, but in Ma'aseh HaKadosh Baruch Hu arranged it that because David HaMelech counted the people directly, that's why they were punished. In other words, David HaMelech was, or should we say, the Jewish people were supposed to be punished because of David HaMelech's misdeed. I definitely say misdeed. I don't say it's a aveira. Okay. Because of David HaMelech, therefore, the people had to suffer that they should be stricken by a plague. However, Kosh Baruch Hu brought it about that they would be stricken a plague for Ilu for a valid reason. In a, should we say, in a natural way, that the result that they were going to be stricken by a plague was going to happen because of a valid natural reason, and that was because David HaMelech counted them, even though it was like a super mistake of David HaMelech to do such a thing. It was Kilu HaKadosh Baruch Hu caused him to do such an action, to make such a mistake, in order that the result should be that he will count them. And when the Jewish people are counted, Ayin Hara has an, should we say, has an effect upon them, and that will cause a plague.
And that you consider to be natural?
Ayin Hara isn't something natural. Do you
It is.
consider radiation to be natural?
Radiation, yes, radiation is natural.
Yeah, how do you know?
How do I
Have you
know?
ever seen, alpha, beta, or gamma rays?
They can be measured.
Well,
And
they're measured by
they-
what?
By instruments.
You're saying they're physical instruments.
A physical instrument can measure radiation. The Geiger counter.
I understand what you're saying, But nevertheless, Ayin Hara is also a form of, shall we call it, spiritual radiation, which to our naked eye cannot be measured, but is something, that's why I use the comparison to radiation. Ayin Hara has a physical effect on its victim, it's something real. It's just something we're not capable of measuring. Should we say they haven't come up yet with a Ayin Hara machine, Ayin Hara Geiger counter.
Ah,
But it's a similar idea. Obviously, it's on a spiritual level rather than on a physical level. In other words, regular radiation is much more on a purely physical level. Whereas Ayin Hara is something which is on a more spiritual level. Okay,
So you
but I'm
can,
saying it's something real.
so you consider its spiritual effect to be natural?
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
I wish I had some sort of text to be able to show you, but I'm not familiar with any such publication. By the way, did you ever get that book on the of the Geret HaRamban?
I did, I got it and I read it.
Ah. Okay. Good. Okay, let's go further. Last pasuk, Yud Gimel, Meir.
okay. Zayit nu kol ha'over al hapikudim machatzit hashekel v'shekel hakodesh esrim gera hashekel machatzit hashekel Truma LaHashem. Okay, so this is, I guess, that they gave what they gave. Each one passed on what they counted, on the counting, I guess, Hapikudim. Machatzit HaShekel, half a shekel, the shekel HaKodesh, that was a sanctified shekel. Esrim Gera HaShekel, there are 20 Gera in I guess, the shekel.
Right, in other words, the shekel being equivalent to 20 gerah.
Gera. Shekel Truma, so the
Machatzis
shekel.
HaShekel, then the Torah repeats. Machatzis HaShekel, half of the shekel should be.
Oh, right, half a shekel will be the portion given to Hashem.
Right.
Okay, so let's see. Rashi. They knew that which shall gave, or shall give, I guess. Her'ah lo kamin matbeya shel eish. He was shown, I guess Hashem showed to him, to Hashem, a type of coin of fire. Ooh. Mishkala machatzit hashekel, and the weight of it was a half a shekel. The Amar lo kazeh, and he told him, let's see, the Amar lo kazeh yitnu, that this kazeh, like this, they should give. Okay. So Hashem actually showed Moshe this coin in a flame. Reminds me a bit of the burning bush, the sneh. Okay. Next Rashi is ha'over al hapikudim, who passes
By the way,
on.
when Rashi says over here, Zeh, what do you mean? Why does Rashi say? Because wherever you have the term Zeh, it's something visible. This.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, you'd say, Oy soy yitnu, or who yitnu, right? It you shall, it they shall give. Whenever has there, it refers to something visible, virtual. So that's what Rashi says. Herolok min matbea shel eish. So the coin didn't exist yet. But Kosh Baruch Hu showed it to him. This kind of coin you shall this kind of coin you shall mint, this kind of coin, and it's to look like this.
Mhm. Okay.
What's very interesting
Yeah.
is that it's called a half a shekel. What I mean is as follows. The Torah tells us that the shekel is worth, or its weight is esrim geira. And you're supposed to give half of it as a truma for Hashem.
Mhm.
Okay, just imagine well, it's maybe more likely here in Israel than in anywhere else. Decide to make a new form of coinage. Okay,
Mhm.
and we say, the basic coin is going to be half a coin. We'll call it half. You mean, why call it half? Make the coin the basic unit and half the amount it's equivalent. Because Torah could have just said as well, Eser Geiro HaShekel, and you give a shekel as a truma l'Hashem. When are we creating a new coin? So why create this new coin? And you know what? And you say, you know how much each person has to give? Got to give a half. What do you say to that question? Hello?
I'd say it doesn't make any sense. It should be a shekel.
Right. So the answer is that Dafka, this whole idea, again, this comes back to the idea of highlighting the individual. Even when each person gives his coin to be as part of the counting of the general people, he's showing that he's not a complete unit in himself. He's part of the general communal block. Mamela, he's only a half. He's not a whole unit himself. He's only a half.
Huh.
Therefore, if he's only a half, he's joining on with the other halves, and then together they're making a complete unit.
Oh.
Again, so to show that the idea is a person shouldn't consider himself, you see, I'm a unit for myself. I can stand totally on my own feet without anybody else. No. And that's why the Dafka, the Torah, I think what I'm saying now, I think one of the, I can't remember if the Sforner says it, one of the other Mefarshim says it. That's the idea that the Dafka, the coin, which even though it was a specially minted coin, that coin was considered a half. It was a specially minted half coin.
Mhm.
That each person should know that he's only a half. He's not a whole unit. He's his, should we say his, I call it, his character is the right word. His whole being, his whole status is only by virtue of that he's part of the general, he's part of the entire community. He's an important part of the general community, but he's not a lone individual by himself. Okay? Yeah.
Does-
Let's do the next Rashi.
Can I just ask one quick question?
Yeah.
Would that also work in the sense of a marriage where a man has to take a woman?
Most
So there's two
definitely.
halves making up a whole unit.
Most definitely.
Okay, very
Um,
good.
I can't think of what comes to mind is a famous book written by Rabbi and Mrs. Abramov. I don't know if you heard of them. They've done a lot in teaching about Jewish family purity and Shalom Bayis, etc. And they wrote a book, Two Halves of a Whole.
Ah,
But I think what they were saying was it's based on a Chazal. It's not they didn't coin the phrase themselves. Okay,
okay.
let's continue.
Ha'ober al hapikudim. So who passes on those counted. Derech hamonim ma'avirin et hanimnin ze achar ze. Okay, so derech is the way that those are counted. Ma'avirin, that they are passed on. They are passed.
In the past, the people have been counted one after the other.
One after the other. Okay.
And then I guess a similar thing nowadays, you pass them through the turnstiles, right?
Right. Very good. Okay. V'chein kol asher ya'avor tachat ha-shavet.
Shevet.
Okay. Shevet. Oh, okay. And also, let's see.
Really, yeah, you have this concept, Kod asher ya'avor tachas ha-shevet.
Oh, beneath the rod. Is that when they counted the cattle for the tithing?
Correct, or counted the sheep, yes, correct.
Oh, that's the next statement. V'chein ta'avorna hatzon al yedei moneh. And so too, the flocks will pass by the one counting, I guess, or the counter. Okay. Machzit
In both these
Hashem.
cases, the idea is that you see the term passing is used in connection with counting.
Mhm.
Both with the previous case of Kol asher ya'avor tachas ha-shevet, and then also Tavorna hatzon al yedei moneh.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
Machatzis ha-shekel b'shekel ha-kodesh.
Okay, so half the shekel by the holy shekel. Okay. B'mishkal ha-shekel shekavatzti, no, shekatzavti lecha. Okay, so the weight of the shekel, kavatzti, I gathered to you, I guess. Lishkolbo shiklei hakodesh. Let's see, to weigh it, shekli hakodesh. The holy shekels, I guess, the sanctified shekels. Kigon shekalim ha'amurin the parashat arachim ustei achuzah. And Kigon is example of the shekels that are said in the parasha that deal with arachim and the stay and the inheritance of a field. Okay. Let's see. The next one is Esrim Gera HaShekel. The shekel is 20 Gera. Akshav Peirash Lecha Kamahu. So
Right.
now, Peirash
Explains to you how much it is.
How much it is. Okay, very good. And a Gera Lashon Ma'ah. It's a the
expression.
Aramaic is Ma'ah, I guess.
No, not in Aramaic. Lashon ma, it's a term referring to a ma, meaning a coin, a basic coin.
Oh, a coin. Oh, okay. V'chein Shmuel Yavo L'hishtachavot lo La'agorat Kesef V'chibar Lachem. Oh, this must be
Kikar lechem.
okay. V'chibar oh,
Kikar.
Lechem.
Kikar,
Oh.
kikar means a loaf.
Kikar, a loaf of bread. Oh. So what?
Yavo yishtachvos lo la'agoras kesef. Just 1 second.
He bowed down to him? Or to it?
What, sorry?
L'hishtachavot lo. He bowed.
Means that they would come down to bow down to, I think it means to the king,
Oh, okay.
in order to receive goyas kesef v'kikar lechem, to receive as a result. Just let me check up a second. Rashi, KiSisa. Okay. To get it to the shekel. We'll come down to bow down to him for an agora coin of money and a loaf of bread. That's the word, in other words, they would receive, each person who would bow down to the king would receive that amount.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay.
Shmuel Aleph. Okay. And the last one, Esrim Gera HaShekel. The shekel is 20 Gera. HaShekel HaShalem are Ba'azuzim. So the whole shekel is 4 zuz. V'hazuz mitchilato 5 ma'ot. And the zuz originally was 5 ma'ot. Ela ba'u v'hosifu alav shitut.
6.
Oh, but it
Elu l'sheish ma kesef.
so they added 1.
So what he's saying is basically is originally a shekel was originally 4 zuz, and the zuz was 5 mois. So 4 times 5 is 20.
Right.
So Gera and Ma are kind of the equivalent of one and the other. Right? Gera is the equivalent of a Ma.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so if you have 5 Ma's in a zuz, and a zuz, there's 4 zuzim in a shekel, so that makes 20 Gera. However, Rashi says when afterwards they changed the money standard, and instead of being 5 Ma's in a zuz, they changed it from to being 6 Ma's in a zuz. Okay?
Right.
ומחצית השקל הזה שאמרתי לך, ייתנו תרומה להשם. Half of this shekel, which I've explained to you, which is 20 Gera weight, that they should give as a truma for Hashem.
Uh-huh.
Okay? Very good. I think we'll stop here.
Very good.
Very good. Ishakach.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Right. Have a great day, Kultiv. Be well.